The Department of Justice on Tuesday charged an Afghan national with conspiring to carry out a terror attack on Election Day. In a statement, Attorney General Merrick Garland says, quote, the Justice Department foiled the defendant's plot to acquire semi-automatic weapons and commit a violent attack in the name of ISIS. CBS News Justice Department reporter Rob Legare joins us now. So what do we know, Rob, about the suspect and these charges?
Hey, good afternoon, John, or good evening, John. Thanks for having me. So the criminal complaint was just filed in federal court in Oklahoma, and we're just reading over this 28-page criminal complaint. And what we're learning is that Tawhidi was an Afghan national who was led into the United States in 2021 on a special immigrant visa. And prosecutors allege that he and a co-conspirator, who they describe as his wife's brother, so his brother-in-law, were a subscriber to ISIS ideology and consumed ISIS propaganda. They allege that the defendant and his co-conspirator, who's not named in charging documents, sought to carry out an election day attack here in the U.S. in the name of ISIS by doing many things: purchasing weapons, selling their family home, working to repatriate their family back to other countries across the world to make sure that they weren't in the United States. And I just want to read a portion here from the criminal complaint. He further stated that he and his co-conspirator sought to obtain weapons and purchased AK-47 rifles for the purpose of conducting firearms training and committing an attack on Election Day, targeting large gatherings of people. So prosecutors arrested him yesterday, and they said following his arrest, he basically explained the plan of his attack. Prosecutors, the Justice Department said today that he made his first appearance in federal court and will likely remain in custody. John.
Rob, do we have any sense, I know it's quite early in this, but do we have any sense whether this was a lone wolf operation or whether there's any larger connection, anything in the filing that suggests anything other than these two participants?
Sure. So what we do know is that there were some communications on Telegram with other individuals named here. They are not charged, but there was some communication here. What we do know is that the defendant and his co-conspirator, who appeared to be his brother-in-law, were consuming ISIS ideology and professing their commitment to that cause.
And finally, does it seem like this was far down the lane or that they were in the preliminary sort of planning stages? I mean, on the one hand, it sounds like they were making efforts to get people out of town and do that kind of thing, which seems like they were pretty far down the operation. On the other hand, they were just getting the weapons. What do we know about where they were in terms of the timeline?
Right. Well, the FBI director came out with a statement saying that his agents were able to come and stop this attack before anybody was hurt. We're about a month out, less than a month out from Election Day. And so this is a serious threat that the FBI and the Justice Department clearly take seriously. We have statements from the FBI director and the Attorney General announcing this arrest. And we do know that federal officials and state officials have been on guard for certain threats from abroad over the last few months. The FBI director has said in recent months that he has never seen this many red lights flashing on the threat environment as he has seen in the last few months. And so this is clearly something that federal officials have been watching for. What we don't know really is, to your point, how far along in their planning were they? They clearly were seeking to obtain weapons, seeking to sell their house, but federal investigators reveal that the person they were trying to sell their house to was a confidential human source with the FBI. The person they were allegedly trying to buy their weapons from was an undercover agent. And so how far along? Well, we'll probably see in the next few weeks and months as the court proceedings carry on.
Rob Legare with all the details. Thank you very much.